Hi there, beautiful souls watching. Thank you and welcome. I'm Gabrielle, retired medium in Germany, and I like to share some of my otherworldly experiences and insights. So, this one is about a dream of a friend about 5D, the fifth dimension everybody is talking about now. So I, some years ago, visited some former friends and stayed the weekend there. And well, one morning during that weekend, if some like-minded souls come together, they kind of not only unite their energy, they create something more. Because the sum is always more than just the single parts. So, in the morning, at the breakfast table, we were sitting there and talking, and of course, about a lot of spiritual stuff. And then suddenly, the owner of the house where I was as a visitor staying overnight, she said, "Oh, I had such a crazy dream last night, and I don't understand anything about that." And I, always curious, I said, "Oh, please tell me the dream. I'm curious. I want to know." And she started and she said, "Well, I was in some kind of airport surrounding, there were people standing in lines, and maybe these airport doors with kind of plastic doors that open up when you have to go with your passport to the counter to get your passport controlled or acknowledged or whatever to get into the country." So she said they were filing the people in front of these plastic doors. And there were long files of people and people and people. And the doors just would not open. So some people, like being angry, they started banging against the plastic doors, but nothing happened. And then she suddenly saw some people that kind of passed through that plastic door as if it was nothing. And on the other side, they were kind of glowing and then walking on, or kind of levitating on or hovering. They were not moving their feet. They were just levitating. And on this side of the plastic door, some kind of heap was left, something like old clothes and dust and dirt and ash, just like, forming a little heap of unnecessary stuff. And I started laughing because I loved that dream. To me, it was totally clear, just instantly. And I asked her, "And you have no idea what that signifies? What's the meaning of that?" And she said, "No." And after I was finished with my laughter, I said, "Well, to me, this is like people filing up for the entrance into 5D. And sorry, there is no entrance for egos. That's what you have to leave behind. That's the heap of ash and not worked through traumas or fixations or false beliefs or whatever. And if you're able to let go of that, then you can just pass through the door with your new light body, your activated light body. That's glowing because it has more light than this 3D limited version of a human being." And the ones banging at the door with force and it did not open and they couldn't get through, Well, with your ego, you can bang on the doors as long as you like. You are not allowed in there because ego is the hindering thing, you know. It gets everything wrong, it interprets and misinterprets. It makes conclusions, false conclusions. It assumes things just through the filters of the personality, which is formed by education, programming, and false beliefs, and all things like that. So I really love that dream because to me it was crystal clear, showing what will happen and what already happened, not only on our planet but on other planets as well, when they were at the end of their cycles and the quantum jump was in front of their door. So this is another thing I wanted to share with you today. I hope you get a glimpse of the meaning of that dream because I really love it and I find it crystal clear. Maybe some of you still wonder or have some other ideas. Yeah, you can have that, please. I can't hinder you. If you don't want to get it, then you won't get it. I can only share what I know and what I got, and you don't have to believe me anything. Listen to other people as well and find where there are the collaborations. Who else is saying something like that? You know, some people even weren't content with the metaphor the Elohim used in the last channeling, although to me it was crystal clear. It's from the Bible, the redacted Bible, but they weren't smart enough to take everything out, you know. So it's in the Matthew part, and there is used the analogy, the metaphor or parable, and Yeshua as well used the metaphor of the garden and the growing crops as well. And that's where the word harvest comes from. That's also used in Ra, the Law of One books. And some were pissed off because they don't want it to be compared to just a crop. Yeah, sorry, that's just your ego that always wants to be more than just a crop. I'm happy being a crop, so what's wrong with that, you know? It's something valuable. Better than being a weed, you know? And in the metaphor of Matthew, it is said that the crops and the weeds are growing equally until the time of the harvest, which is now. Wake up, people. Wake up, souls. And the weeds will be plucked out one by one. That can tell you everything. I can't see why I do have to explain that, and if you don't get what a metaphor is, sorry, then we can't talk. I can talk to you as long as I like. It's just water that's running down outside of a glass window. If you're so convinced that you know it all and that you know it all better, well, then go ahead and live your kind of idea that you have. I'm here sharing. I want to learn. I want to understand, although I know 3D understanding is very limited. But as much as I can understand and get right, and I look for confirmation and corroboration as well. And if I find some other people or even old texts that say the same thing, then I know, okay, I'm not totally wrong. And I can even ask Spirit World for a sign, like the feather I got on my porch when I was in the right state of meditation after exhausted garden work, you know. And I never reached that state within meditation. So there are many ways to get to that, as many ways as there are individuals. That's why this garden or zoo of God's source is so diverse and so colorful, and we're not meant to fight with each other. We are meant to unite. Do you want a world where everything is only black and white or gray? I love the rainbow colors, and we are the rainbow, all of us. We are the light, not the ego, but the inner true self, your higher self, your soul is the light. We are the light, we are the love, we are the truth. And that is what resonates even through this body and the personality filters and programmings, and you just feel it. So start to feel more. And just observing the birds in my garden taught me to observe myself and my inner emotions as well, without identifying, without judging, and without assuming anything, but just looking, observing, and learning. And that can teach you a lot. You can recognize, oh, suddenly there's anger in me, or there is this and there is that. And if you ask yourself, where does that come from? Well, it mostly comes from some kind of traumatic experience in childhood, where your parents ranted with you or told you something, or someone else, a teacher or the church told you, you are bad, you are a sinner. I grew up evangelic, although my parents did not go to church, and I was not that much touched by that evangelic religion. But when I think back now, I always had the feeling there is something dark or bad within me, and that sexuality is something dirty. Well, that's what religion put into me without even me going into church. And that's why I never really lived within me. And I always tried to flee from, whoa, what's inside of me? Well, and I had to find out that was exactly playing into their cards. They don't want you to go inside and find out the resonating truth in your heart, your chest area, where the connection with the soul is. They want you to look for God outside. They want you to follow their rules. They want you to behave like this or like that and do whatever they tell you. I'm now 67 years old, and I did not grow 67 years old to be told by authorities that I do not accept, and they prove to me that they are lying and that they are false and that they follow their own agenda, which is only to their benefit. I don't follow them any longer. They can say whatever they want. I follow my heart, my own truth, which is residing in me, like within you as well, in everybody. We all live within a divine soul. And it's up to us to open the door and say, okay, I want more. Please, soul, teach me, higher self. Teach me what's missing, what do I have to learn. And the first step is always, as written above, the Greek mystery schools, the entrance, know thyself. If you don't even know yourself as a human being and you don't understand the psychology working within you, well, how can you grab then for understanding the soul and its working? We have to start here, clean our house. This is the temple of the soul. And if there's dirt there, false opinions and things like that, well, then you have to deal with that and find out whether it's true or not. But we all have kind of a compass. The needle is on truth, and you resonate with truth. You do not resonate with lies. You get a feeling, doesn't feel good, there's something off, I don't really get it, but it feels kind of weird. No, something's wrong here. Yes, there's a lot wrong here. And you don't have to make it all right. One lifetime wouldn't be enough to get all that done. just the first step to say, okay, I'm willing, here I am, teach me, I want to learn, I want to understand the real thing. That is enough. Then spirit worlds comes towards you 2 steps, but you have to make the first step. That's it. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. Leave you with that. Hopefully some breadcrumbs to make you start questioning or pondering or inspire you for the highest good of all and all that is. Blessings, love and light onto your soul path. Dear beautiful souls watching, thank you and bye.